A woman, an ex, and a grave. A woman in Washington state who was allegedly buried alive by her estranged husband managed to survive a terrifying, nearly fatal encounter. The woman allegedly informed LPD detectives that her husband had abducted her from her home and driven her into the woods, where he stabbed her and buried her alive. She was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. According to a declaration of probable cause submitted Wednesday in Thurston County Superior Court, after being buried, she could hear her spouse pacing about the pit and earth being thrown on top of her. The woman, according to the paperwork the outlet was able to obtain, believes she spent hours in the grave and only managed to survive by moving her face around to generate small air pockets. She waited until it was dark before attempting to escape. It took her 20 to 30 minutes to obtain assistance after she managed to release herself. She cried, "My husband is attempting to kill me," according to a declaration of probable cause that NBC News was able to obtain. Netflix, passwords, and adding a premium. Is your Netflix password being used by someone else? There will be a crackdown in early 2023. Beginning in early 2023, Netflix will formally start charging for password sharing. What that entails for users is as follows. Netflix announced in a letter to shareholders in October that it will formally begin charging for password sharing in early 2023. Netflix said this week that it will charge consumers for sharing their account with non-household members. Users who are using another person's account can move their profile data, including watch history, to their own. If subscribers desire to share, they can buy sub-accounts. After losing members for the first time in more than a decade in the first quarter of 2022, Netflix stated in its April shareholder letter that tightening down on password sharing will be a major potential for revenue growth moving ahead. Netflix added 2.4 million users in the third quarter, more than double the 1 million expected. As it prepares to debut a lower-priced membership category in early November, it predicts 4.5 million fourth-quarter customers. Kanye, his universe, and his vision. Kanye West has plans to construct his very own microcity, which he refers to as the ecosystem. Two sources claim that West has been working on his own tiny universe for years. They describe it as a self-sustaining business with its own branded goods and services. Despite all the commotion from West's recent months, his team submitted a number of trademark registrations that would enable West to establish his own micro-community, or what West plans to name the ecosystem, for which he will be responsible. According to insiders, it would be a self-sufficient corporation with ecosystem-branded residences and retail locations. According to an insider, the proposal includes intentions to open the first campus next month. The source said West hopes to construct micro-communities across the country. Given that West's team has registered a website domain for the name, replete with a mail server, all evidence points to the business being called Ecosystem. YouTube, family plans, and price hikes. The family package for YouTube Premium is increasing in price. There will be a $5 increase from $17.99 to $22.99 for the Premium Family Plan. The price rise solely affects the monthly family plan, which allows up to 5 people in one household to use the service. The individual plan will likely stay $11.99 per month. Google support speculates that inflation and local tax rises may be the cause. No updates to the service are planned. YouTube's previous attempt to charge 4K content is also unclear. YouTube users will be notified 30 days before the price hike takes effect, allowing them time to decide whether to maintain their membership. YouTube invites individuals displeased with the price hike to voice their discontent in hopes of a reconsideration. Otherwise, premium family members must pay the difference, switch plans, or cancel. Canada, guns, and the ban. Canada's latest gun control measure forbids the sale of all handguns. As part of the government's attempts to reduce gun violence, a ban on the sale, purchase, and transfer of handguns goes into force. According to the announcement by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Canadians would no longer be able to buy, sell, transfer, or import new handguns into the country as of Friday, October 21, 2022. Trudeau said in a statement that given the rise in handgun violence throughout Canada, it is our duty to take quick action to remove these deadly weapons from our communities. According to the Canadian government, the number of handguns has increased by 70% since 2010. A new gun control bill, which the Canadian government claims would be the harshest in 40 years, was being considered when the gun freeze was implemented. The May bill calls for further steps to prevent gun smuggling and trafficking, as well as the revocation of firearms permits for those involved in domestic violence or criminal harassment. Michigan, lyft, and a shooter. According to news outlet Fox 2 in Pontiac, Michigan, a 19-year-old is currently in jail for the early Friday morning shooting killing of a Lyft driver. Just before 5 a.m., the 49-year-old East Point woman picked up the passenger at a Walmart, but before she could deliver him, she was shot in the head. In terms of why it happened, that's part of the ongoing investigation, says Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard. According to Bouchard, there is no evidence that the two had any prior acquaintance. Aerial video shows the crash near Putnam Avenue and Rundle Street. When police arrived, they found the woman fatally shot and her car had hit a utility post. They knew a man had fled the scene, but Friday afternoon witnesses, K9 units, and the digital trail the suspect had left behind would help police catch him. Bouchard described it as incredibly heinous. The injuries from the back of the head coming out the front, just a really terrible and tragic situation. The suspect is detained pending charges. The sheriff couldn't say when the warrant paperwork would be presented, but they're working on it.
Thanks for watching Sloppy Seconds, news in 60 seconds or less.